I think like for me,
I'm stubborn. I don't want to borrow money from anybody. That's me.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really come up that often because I'd rather just just be living on the street before I borrow money from someone.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk.
What's up, girls?
Wow.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
You're looking a little pregnant.
That's a dad.
I'm sick of this shit. I'm over it. Get this boy out of me. What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. A lot of moving parts. Very active meeting today.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those who don't know, we typically film right after we have our restaurant meetings with all of our operators. And some days it's so inspirational to come in here, and other days we're half brain dead. But one thing that I feel like we are talking about right now is potentially purchasing real estate, which oftentimes Yanni's number one thing is go find the money.
Always.
And even more oftentimes that we go to find the money, we avoid banks at all costs, correct?
Yes.
Like
It's a beautiful thing.
we're tired of it. We're exhausted of going to banks. But one thing about asking or getting a loan or borrowing money or whatever it may be, getting an investment from a friend or a family member, do you still pitch the interest? Right? Like collecting interest or paying interest to someone, close to you. Cause like, obviously you're not going through a bank, right? But for me personally, I still pay, like, I'm not going to a bank. I don't have to deal with the paperwork. I don't have to deal with all the bullshit. Like, I'm still going to give you interest. Now, am I going to give you probably like as much as the bank is asking for? Maybe not. But like, I still want to give interest, right?
Oh, well, hold on. It depends. If it's a really close friend or family, okay, I might not even do it with interest, depending on your situation. But I think if it's just associated people, not friends, but just like acquaintances, like, because when you go through a bank, they have, let's say, I don't know, 7%. That's theirs. Is it worth paying 7% to an acquaintance that you know, and they don't have to go through any of the trouble of going through the bank at all?
Well, that's what I mean.
No questions asked. Like, that's priceless. Not priceless. I mean, you could put a number and figure on it, but that's huge.
I would love the whole idea of not having to jump through all those hoops. Like when I bought my house, like the hoops I had to go through for the mortgage was ridiculous. It was so annoying. Now, if I were to borrow money from someone, I would give them interest.
Right.
But if someone was borrowing from me and they were close to me, because I don't normally lend money unless you're really close to me, a family member. If you are, I won't collect interest. That's just not my thing. But I don't. Outside of that, I'm not one to really loan money.
Right.
Because I find that when they're close to you, they think that they can delay and delay.
I don't think I know I wouldn't ever, like if anybody ever came to me or when anybody's ever come to me for money, I've never been one to be like, okay, well, here's the interest. And you know what? There was only one circumstance where I actually made a deal, made a contract, literally got it notarized, like, even just through a friend, because I'm like, I want you to see that I'm serious. Like, I'm going to pay you back. I don't want you to think that like, no matter how close we are, I want you to know that like, I'm not just going to run off with this money and this business venture or whatever. And I put it in there, to give, I think it was like 5% interest or whatever it may be. But any other time that I've ever borrowed money from anybody, nobody's ever like asked for any kind of interest. And there was never any kind of paperwork drawn up for it of any kind. That was like just a one-off circumstance. But no matter what, when I did repay that money, I always gave interest instead, like, or on top of it, it was never spoken about. It was never agreed upon, but it was just one of those things to where I'm like, I would not have been able to get a loan from a bank.
Right.
Even if I was, God, would it have been a pain in the ass. And I'm successful enough to pay off this loan plus some to you because of the fact that you gave me that jump start. But I've never I would never ask for interest either, Yeah.
It depends. If it's a one and done, like you said, you were buying a house, it was a pain in the ass. It's always a pain in the ass. But let's say you needed a loan and a family member gave it to you or a friend or whatever, and they're like, don't worry about it. And okay, it's a one and done deal. But if you want to make it like, okay, I want this person to be my investor in future things too, what would be
Kinda good
something
faith.
that's still beneficial to me while making him loaning me his hard-earned money? What makes it beneficial enough to him where I can do this again and
Right.
again and again? And that's where it comes in. Like if people were asking me for money, if I had like $1 million and people are like, hey, yeah, I need to borrow. It's a one and done. It's a close friend of mine. Yeah, here, borrow it. When you're ready, give it back. But if it's somebody's like, I want to grow restaurants, I want to grow my businesses, I want to grow this and that, I'll be like, okay, listen, I'll be your silent backup bank. Just give me an return, an ROI
Right.
of like 7%. Take as much as you need up to this amount. Good faith, whatever. But let's make this a relationship.
Yeah, and 7% is not the same as 7% that's amortized,
Yes.
amortized,
Yes.
right? So that's actually less. If you were to put it like a payment schedule, like with how they would do with the banks, that 7% is actually really, if it was the bank's way of doing it, it'd be a lot less than 7%. Like a lot.
Absolutely.
It'd be hardly anything really.
Now, like still the same thing, but like now is there kind of like I don't know, like both an amount and a time limit. Like, so let's say, for instance, like one of the people that I borrowed money from, I borrowed $10,000 and I think we paid it off in like a year, easy. But you know, obviously still I think I gave her 10% back.
Yeah.
Just because there was literally, again, no contract, no discussion, literally whenever you can get back to me.
Right.
But then there's people that are like, okay, here's $5,000 just like, or $3,000, $2,000 just because we need to do some like quick maintenance renovations, like just little pick me up just to help like in a tight spot. And you can pay that back like literally in a month. Do you still add interest to that?
I don't add interest, period. But I also don't loan a lot of money.
I think if it's something
No,
like
do you give them interest? That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, I think
No.
like for me,
I'm stubborn. I don't want to borrow money from anybody. That's me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that doesn't really come up that often because I'd rather just like just be living on the street before I borrow money from someone.
no, I totally get that. And honestly, I was the same way my entire life. Like I wouldn't even ask for like fucking $5 from someone. Like if I was starving for 5 days, it wasn't until really opening Petunia that I was like, okay, I don't have options. Like this is the only option that I have.
Yeah.
And oh God, you can even ask Peter. Like I was intolerable. Anytime money came in, I'm like, we have to pay this person back. We have to pay. Before anything else, before our kids are fed, before we're fed, before anything else, like I want to pay these people back because it gave me so much fucking anxiety.
Right.
But see, that's the difference now because I think over the years I've grown, my skin has gotten a lot thicker, right? And as long as you look at the person and it doesn't matter what the liquid they have is, it doesn't matter. It's what do they have on paper? What can they leverage? Like if they put a gun to your head, can they get you that money in a week or two? Yeah. Okay. They have this, they have that, they have that, they have that. And that would give me ease of mind.
Right.
Like if they didn't have anything and they're just like, I need this money, I need this, I'd be scared shitless. But as long as you look at the person, you're like, okay, they have a paid off house. Okay. Like done. Like I know if I'm going to lend them 5 or 10,000, they have a paid off house, I'm good, you know? And that's the difference when you make certain deals with people, because I have a feeling that we get a lot of calls for properties and businesses and yada, 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 because I think Yanni said it today at the meeting, we have street cred. Like we've built a 20-year reputation. People know us. We have successful restaurants. We're a fairly large company for the area that we're in. So when people look at us, they're like, okay, I wouldn't mind investing in them, or I'd like them to be a part of my hotel or my plaza, or I'd like to sell my property because they have
The reputation to back.
they have the reputation and they have assets. They own a couple properties, 4 or 5, whatever. And that puts their mind at ease because they're like, I'm not scared to get into business with them because I can leverage their properties. You want to co-sign? All right. Can we put a lien on your property? If you don't, whatever. Yeah, sure. I don't care. We're good with that. So I think that's
but this is the thing, right? So someone says, okay, like you feel more comfortable. Someone, put something, their house up for collateral, and you
Yeah.
put a lien against their house. You're like, oh yeah, that's fine, I'm protected. But you don't think in their head they're thinking, but is he really gonna do it if I don't pay him? Is he really gonna take my house? You know what I'm saying?
You're really gonna knock on my door.
And
'Cause
if I
I'm gonna
don't
say,
know you from a can of paint,
has that
and
happened?
no,
Has it happened with Yanni? Like he's ever like had someone put up collateral for their house and then
have we had to put
Yes.
some? Or, yeah, oh yeah.
not you put collateral, but you
No,
had an agreement with someone
listen,
else.
listen.
And that collateral, and the collateral
Those
was the
boys,
house.
when it comes to Yanni and Peter, like I yelled at Peter
handshakes.
earlier on the phone. I was just like, I just know you, and you'll just pay off anybody else's bullshit just because you're like, it's just easier than following up and chasing them up on it. It's just easier than doing this. And I was like, and I love you because that's his heart. That's who he is. I married him for a reason. However, it drives me up a fucking wall. Like there are so many people who have taken so much advantage of Yanni and Peter and like now being a part of the family and also shared income with Peter. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm done with the walking all over. Like the handshake deals have to fucking end.
Yeah.
And even if they're on paper deals, they're like, exactly what
Yeah.
you just did. Just like it's just, am I really gonna go after them
And,
for that?
you know,
Am I really
I-
gonna do this? And I'm like, yeah, bitch. I literally
think
told
Look,
him. I said,
Almost every restaurant we've taken, you take debts. You take debts if, and it happens realistically.
my eye twitching.
Cost of
Mine was
doing
too.
business. And I feel like I've taken a good portion of debts from multiple businesses and put them on myself.
Yeah, literally
Right?
in the last
And
years that we've been
in the
together.
last 4 years. Yeah. I'm okay with taking all the debts if it causes everybody else, if it makes their lives easier and it grows the company.
Yeah.
I will take the stresses. I will take that to
Like,
an extent. I don't think we've gotten extremely overboard with it.
No,
The only time
According
that
to
it
who?
has genuinely
To me, this is
benefited.
my
According to you.
personal-
But do you think that's setting a precedent, and also it's sending a message that Pete's just gonna he'll be fine. He's not getting really mad. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't like to
I've-
lend money, because I will hunt you down.
Yeah. And I honestly, I won't. I will hit a certain wall where I'm like, okay, it needs to break or stop or whatever. But if it's causing, because I feel for I'm like, okay, you know what? This person's having a lot of hardships. So am I. I can kind of hold on to this for now if it makes their lives easier. And look, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but for me personally, it feels right for me.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You lend someone money. They pay you back. Then they borrow money again, and they pay you back. So it's fine. They're good for the money. But then it's all the issue. Do you ever consider like, okay, so I would be less inclined to lend money to someone who I feel like is on the hamster wheel and they're not making progress as far as getting out of debt over time. So if you're just,
That's
it's just
understandable.
recycling the money.
It just depends on if they're using it to continue to bail themselves out or if they're actually using it for like further investments. So like it kind of just depends, and you have to kind of
Exactly.
know the
So-
person.
but do you think about that?
There's-
So the thing is that it's not even that Peter has to lend out money. He just
I don't lend out.
He doesn't lend out money. He just uses his money to pay off every debt at every restaurant that we walk into without holding anybody accountable of their past bills, even though that they were operating the restaurant at the time and they were using the utilities. And then we walk in there, and the only time thus far that it has benefited the group was with Petunia. We took on probably over $50,000 of debt walking into that.
Operated it for 9 months.
Operated
and
for
then
9
walked
months,
away.
handed it off.
And I kept most of the debt, and any debt that was still there, I took that as well.
We absorbed
So I could have the next
it.
so I could have the next operator go in there and start fresh. And that's what I mean when I say how it benefits the group, because we took something that was damaged. We absorbed, not willingly, the debt,
Say the truth.
got the place up and running again to be successful and start on the right foot, and then gave somebody else the opportunity to please take over. But you have a free and clear start. And
Which again, that's the one time that I'm saying, like, genuinely, don't get me wrong, that was our hardest hit. But yet that benefited the group.
yeah.
But with this other said property that we have we've now continuously 3 times have walked into.
Oh, yeah.
We have taken on the debt of everybody else every single fucking time.
Yeah.
And without anybody else holding accountability. And it's like at what cost? And it's not like that location, because that location's currently up for sale. It's not like that location is really benefiting the group. So it's just literally soul sucking at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I snapped on that this morning. And that's another reason why it's also on my forefront, between the new property considering to be purchased, between this property that we're trying to get rid of essentially. And it's still sucking the life out of us.
When it comes down to it, I am okay with taking cash to clear out debts that benefit growth. Not my credit card debt, not my personal debt, but anything with business that's holding us back just a hair to push us a little forward. I'm okay with taking that.
It's not growth, it's refinement.
So
only if you stick with it for a long period of time. A one and done doesn't count as refinement in my eyes.
all right.
Anyway.
Well,
We can talk about this
Noel's
for
a
a
better
while.
woman than I am, because I would have kicked your fucking ass.
I literally
But-
yelled at him on the
but-
phone.
As long as you can back it up. Maybe not on liquid, but if you have your assets in line to back it up, if you need to pull a gun out and say, give me that right now,
Yeah.
and if you can get it, you can get it.
Yeah, well.
You know.
Yeah, well.
So I'm with no interest unless it's a friend or an acquaintance with a
Giving
relationship.
loans or receiving loans?
Giving
Giving loans.
yeah.
loans. I'll say this though, if you're going to ask for a loan, I think whether it's business or personal, I think even the person insists not giving interest, I think it's good to give interest. Also, because just in case, you do pay them back and give them their interest. Well, if you have to borrow money again.
Yeah.
Now you are developed a reputation for paying back. You're paying it back timely fashion and
Yeah.
the interest. So you
I
have
will
that.
always give something
Yeah.
back, even if it's 5, 10, whatever percent, always, but I'll never ask for it.
Right. That's
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
ask for it
Yeah.
ever. No.
I just thought about, there was a friend of mine who had borrowed some money, and it wasn't for a long period of time, and they gave me interest back, and I wasn't asking for it. I would have taken it, but since you put in the envelope, I will take it.
Yep.
Thank
I'm
you
right.
very much.
Thanks for bringing up this topic. It was trip down memory lane and fun to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like that shit's fresh. I don't know.
Yes.
Memory lane, that shit's fresh. Did you guys just talk about this more?
Word of advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was memory.
Word of advice. Be careful when you take the last name Kara.
Yeah.
Be very cautious.
Thanks for watching Restaurant Punk.
Thanks.
Out.
Bye. I feel like she had some other shit that she knew about. I'm like, did you come in here to eat? Did you come in here to fucking get
Be
information?
gossip.
Fishing.
But she was nice other than that.
What you got? What do you want?